What's going on? Let's get right into the video. Okay, so this is a concept that I call Tradeception. Very simple concept, but this will increase your win rate. This will also increase your risk to reward. What is Tradeception? Well, Tradeception is when you have an overall trade that you want to take, and you're going to go to a smaller time frame and look for that same trade within that trade as well. So let's say this is the one, let's say this is the 15 minute, right? You're gonna try to find a trade within the 15 minute, but within that trade, you're gonna jump to the 1 minute and look for the same trade within the 1 minute on the same trade. So if you've ever seen the movie Inception, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So whenever there's something happening on the 15 minute, the same thing is gonna be happening on the 1 minute and the 15 second, the 1 second, the 4 hour. Like there's always the same moves happening on each and every time frame. But how you can optimize your trading is if you take the same move on a larger frame and then jump to a smaller time frame, you're going to have a much higher win rate because you're already destined to go in the direction from the larger time frame, and then you only trade a smaller move on the smaller time frame. It will help incredibly. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. So we're just going to use a really simple trading strategy here. Let's say you are a continuation trader. Your trade style is you wait for price to break to start continuation, and you like to enter when price breaks above the last high, when price closes 2 candles. So let's say that is your entry. So because this happened on the 15 minute, instead of actually entering on the 15 minute, we're going to jump down to the 1 minute and we're going to repeat the exact same thing. This is why it's called Tradeception, because we're going to do the same repeatable thing but on a smaller time frame. What is our trade strategy? Well, we're going to wait for price to break a high, and that is what we're going to continue to do. So because we're a continuation trader, we want to wait for price to continuate, and it's starting to look like it's going to continuate upwards. So now we will wait for price to break a high and close 2 candles above it. Let's see, 2 green candles is what we're going to look for. 2 major green candles. Boom, we got 1, 2. All right, so now we are going to enter. Now, if you guys are looking for a great broker to use, I highly recommend using Hanko Trade. They have leverage up to 500 and spreads as low as 0 pips. Haven't had an issue with them yet. I've been trading them personally and I absolutely love them. My link will be down in the description below if you need that broker. We have now technically entered a trade on the 15 minute because we have this trade, and we're also entering on the 1 minute because we have this trade going on here. So now this is Tradeception. Now we can have a more optimal entry. We can have a bigger risk to reward because we're overall trading that higher time frame move as well. So now we can have a smaller stop loss. So let's say we want to set it below this low here, because realistically, if we entered here, our stop loss would have been something bigger because we're on the higher time frame. But now because we have the optimal entry, we can now have a bigger take profit. Say we wanted to target an area up here. Say we want to target this consolidation up here. We're going to bring it up to that. And now, instead of having something like, let's say we entered when price closed 2 candles above, 1, 2, we would have entered back here, target, and our stop loss would have been much bigger to protect ourselves. So it probably would have been like a 1-to-1. But now because we're entering on the smaller time frame, we can have a smaller stop loss, a more optimized entry, and this is exactly Tradeception. So if we let this trade play out, we can see we barely have any drawdown because we also entered the same trade on the smaller time frame. And like that, price runs straight up into our take profit. This is a really simple concept. Apply it to whatever strategy you use, but just try it out. Try finding your normal trade that you normally use and then finding another trade within that exact same time frame too.